Hi guys, you got your garage band. I'm Gary, your garage band tech guy. Today I'm going to discuss the parametric EQ with you. Most guys on a budget, they've got their friends together, they play, they make a few bucks on the weekend, they go and have some fun. Can't afford a real expensive sound system. But please don't overlook investing in even a used parametric EQ, because you'll be amazed at what this will do to being able to give you the kind of sound to make your vocals stand out in your mixes the way you want them to. One of the problems, of course, we have is that when we get our vocals out where we want them, they start to feed back, and this is a tough battle. The parametric EQ is the best tool that you can use to help you solve that issue. So let me demonstrate how parametric EQ works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some pink noise. I'm going to shoot it through this parametric EQ right here. Okay. And then I'm going to demonstrate what happens when we turn the knobs, either the cut and boost knob, which are all these white ones, all cut and boost, or the bandwidth knobs, which are the ones in gray. This is a bandwidth. The bandwidth knobs, or when we turn the sweep knobs. The sweep knobs, S-W-E-E-P, sweep knobs, are the ones that actually sweep the frequencies, and this the outer gray, the outer black knob here that actually changes the frequency. All right, so let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and we're gonna boost a frequency, and immediately you can see that here on the screen on our test equipment that we can see that we did boost that frequency. If you're interested in knowing what frequency we did boost, it's 1.6K. All right, so once you've boosted the frequency, you can now sweep that frequency, and you can clearly hear the frequency as you're sweeping. So listen. Okay, and you can sweep up or down. Okay. So that's the sweep. So that's boost and sweep. And remember that term, because this is going to become very important when you go to tune your system later with a microphone. And we're going to do that in another video. But it's called boost and sweep. You can also cut. And since my test equipment is on an averaging, it's averaging the output so that we don't see a lot of bouncing lines. It'd be smoother for us to look at. It now has caught up, and you can see that we cut just as much as we boosted, but you can't hear it near as well. So if you were to cut and sweep, you cannot hear very well what you're doing. That's why we don't cut and sweep. We always boost and sweep if we want to know what we're doing. Okay? So we're going to go back to the boost. Very easy to hear when you boost and sweep. Okay, so now let's talk about the bandwidth knob. That's the gray knob right here. The bandwidth knob, it's very narrow when it's in this position. You see the little narrow bandwidth indicator here? And then here on this side, you see the wider bandwidth indicator. So if we turn the knob towards the wider bandwidth, watch what happens and listen to what happens. So what happens is when you widen the bandwidth, the boost that you have starts to affect more and more frequencies on either side of the center of the frequency. So you start to hear the boost everywhere instead of just one place. So that's the bandwidth. This particular parametric EQ has 7 bands total. 5 of which are totally parametric, which means that a complete parametric means that you can cut and boost, you can change the bandwidth, and you can vary the frequency. It also has 2 fixed bandwidth filters, and on the fixed bandwidth filters you'll notice there is no gray knob, so you can't change the bandwidth. So you can see that you have the ability to cut or boost different areas and control where those areas are. And then I will demonstrate the fixed bandwidth. So what we're going to do is this one is all the way down as low as it can go, which is 40 hertz. If you look right here, that's 40 hertz. I'm going to boost that. We can barely hear it because the speakers I have aren't too good at reproducing 40 hertz. But as we slide the frequencies up, you can hear more frequencies being affected. Okay? And we'll do the same thing with the high frequency. Once again, it's a fixed bandwidth. And we sweep down. Okay. This is full cut, lowest frequency, which is 1.6K. You'll notice there's no high end at all left. And we'll sweep up, and the highs will start to come back. Okay? And that, boys and girls, is the parametric EQ. Thanks for listening.